Will roll. Gowdy secures 3 agents to testify against the FBI, by Erin Moreno for truthfeednews.com. According to reports, Trey Gowdy and Bob Goodlatte have secured 3 FBI agents to testify on the FBI's mishandling of the Hillary Clinton email probe shortly after the explosive IG report is released. One of the agents testifying, John Giacalone, reportedly quit the FBI in protest over how the higher-ups were obstructing the Hillary email investigation. From the Hill, a joint investigation run by the Judiciary and the Oversight and Government Reform Committees has set 3 witness interviews for June, including testimony from Bill Priestap, the Assistant Director of the FBI's Counterintelligence Division, and Michael Steinbach, the former head of the FBI's National Security Division. Multiple congressional sources confirmed Priestap's interview. Steinbach confirmed to The Hill that he would be appearing. The third witness is John Giacalone, who preceded Steinbach as the Bureau's top national security official and oversaw the first 7 months of the Clinton probe, according to multiple congressional sources. Priestap, in particular, has come under fire from conservatives. As the head of the FBI Counterintelligence Division, he held a pivotal leadership position in both the Clinton and Russia probe and was in a supervisory position over counterintelligence agent Peter Strzok, whose text messages criticizing Trump and other political figures during the 2016 presidential race have been the focus of a maelstrom of scrutiny from the right. Republicans are ramping back up the controversial investigation amidst what has become a direct assault by a number of conservatives on special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into the Trump campaign in Russia. President Trump's allies on Capitol Hill have alleged widespread misconduct within the FBI and the Justice Department during the 2016 election and say it is evidence of systematic bias against the president. The allegations have spawned a number of counter-investigations and thrust a host of formerly anonymous FBI and Justice Department career officials into the limelight. The Joint Judiciary Oversight Review, led by chairs Bob Goodlatte and Trey Gowdy, respectively, is centered on the Bureau's decision-making in both the investigation of Clinton's use of a private email server while Secretary of State and the investigation into possible ties between the Trump campaign and Russia. It should have been the Clinton campaign in Russia. But its progress has stalled in the months since it was first announced. Since October, the panel is believed to have interviewed only 2 witnesses of about 20 potential witnesses, infuriating conservative members who are eager to uncover what some have characterized as corruption. All 3 interviews are scheduled separately. Priestap will appear in the first week of June, Giacalone in the second, and Steinbach in the final week of the month, according to the congressional source. Because Priestap is involved with the dossier, that he went to, he was there. When he said he was out of town, he was actually in London there. Democrats have decided the probe as a partisan exercise designed to shield Trump by muddying the water around the federal investigation into his campaign. Gowdy has described the investigation as a serious inquiry into the Bureau's conduct during the Clinton investigation, also under the microscope of Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz, rather than an effort to relitigate the decision not to bring charges against the former Secretary of State. Well, Horowitz is slated to release his own report imminently, raising some questions about whether he will preempt the interviews. The Inspector General earlier this spring released a report from a completed portion of the investigation that was deeply critical of former Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, a top target of conservatives alleging wrongdoing at the Justice Department. Price-Stapp was in contact through the Twitter with Andrew McCabe, so you can see the corruption. That's why I think they want to have him testify first, so they can testify, ask the other ones to answer questions, and this way they can nail Price-Stapp, even though the text messages are proving that Price-Stapp was involved with Andrew McCabe. The Judiciary Oversight Committee is running on parallel tracks to an investigation spearheaded by House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes, who has zeroed in on what he describes as surveillance abuses by the Justice Department and the FBI during the election. But the two investigations, alongside similar probes from a handful of Senate Republicans, share many of the same targets, including Strzok. Although lawmakers have clamored for Strzok and former FBI lawyer Lisa Page to testify, neither Strzok nor Page is expected to appear before the committee in June. But as his subordinate, Strzok would run decisions by Price-Stapp. His text message exchanges with Page show. Yeah, but there's also text messages between Price-Stapp and Strzok. It's on the video I just put up earlier a little bit. Price-Stapp was also involved in another hotly contested episode during the 2016 election, the decision by then FBI director, I would say former FBI Director James Comey, to call Clinton's handling of her emails extremely careless and not the potentially criminal, grossly negligent. According to records released earlier this year by Senator Ron Johnson, Price-Stapp reviewed and provided edits to the statement Comey gave in July of 2016, announcing that he was not recommending charges against Clinton. You see, so Price-Stapp's really involved in this corruption. That statement has long fueled conservative Trump and other Republicans have seized on the wording change and the revelations that Comey began drafting the statement before he had interviewed Clinton as evidence that the FBI was trying to shield Clinton from prosecution. You think? Comey drafted the crooked Hillary exoneration long before he talked to her, lied in Congress to Senator Lindsey Graham, yet he's still prancing around, selling his book and tweeting up a storm against Trump. You know, whose fault is that? That's what I'd like to know. Then, based on his decisions on her poll numbers, yeah, right, her poll numbers, the phony ones, disgruntled, he, McCabe, and the other committee committed many crimes, Trump tweeted last month. Yeah, Trump tweeted all of this. We know they committed many crimes, yet they're still walking around. Comey has said that he could not establish that Clinton acted with criminal intent and that no reasonable prosecutor would charge Clinton based on gross negligence, a standard that has been used only once in the statute's 99-year history. Well, Price-Stapp's name also appears in a controversial memo drafted by staff for Nunes, alleging that the Justice Department inappropriately obtained a surveillance warrant on Trump campaign aide Carter Page by using an opposition research dossier into Trump that was paid for in part by Clinton. Yeah, it was paid all by Clinton anyway. The use of allegations from the so-called Steele dossier had been ground zero for many of the conservative allegations of abuse. According to Nunes' memo, Price-Stapp told the committee that corroboration of the Steele dossier was in its infancy, quote, at the time the Bureau first applied for a surveillance warrant on Page. Yeah, and Price-Stapp was involved with all of this Unbelievable. He's somebody to be looking at. Steinbach, as executive assistant director of the National Security Division, also worked closely with Comey and Strzok on both the Clinton and Russia investigations and was involved in the drafting of the July statement. He left the FBI last year and has been a public defender of a number of GOP targets at the FBI, including McCabe and Strzok. To think Pete could not do his job objectively shows no understanding of the organization, Steinbach told the Washington Post last year. We have Democrats, we have Republicans, we have conservatives and liberals. Having personal views doesn't prevent us from independently following the facts. Oh, you can be sure that they weren't following the facts. No, they weren't. And they were personal. Yep. And it shows. So now this is what's taken place. But Price Stapp had a big hand in all this with Page and the emails, let's see if Goodlatte and Gowdy do their job, or they're just giving us the runaround, playing like they're for the country and and for the rule of law. Let's see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.